Yo, what is going on, gamers? Welcome to today's video. Hopefully you all are having a fantastic day. In today's video, we are going to be doing a competitive Call of Duty tier list. I've been thinking about doing this for a while, and we pretty much have no idea what's going to be happening for next year's Call of Duty. So I think this is the best time to do a tier list based off on, is the game a good competitive Call of Duty or is it a trash competitive Call of Duty? So if you guys would like to partake along with me, put your own tier list down below in the comment section. Try to compare yours to mine. Alrighty, let's get straight on into today's tier list. Now, we're not obviously going to go over every single Call of Duty because some of these games did not have a competitive circuit. I just feel like it would be a waste of time. So the first COD we're going to start with 10 years ago, somewhere around there. It's been a decade, definitely. COD 4. I'm going to put COD 4 as a good game. I feel like if COD 4 would have came out now with the rank play and stuff like that, it definitely could be that GOAT tier. This was also, I believe, the time where they were doing PC Pro Mod games, so I'm just gonna go and put that COD 4 good game. Moving on, World at War. I know a lot of people went to World at War, bought the new COD and it was like, well, this is trash. We're going back to COD 4, so we've pretty much been doing that since the beginning. If the game sucks, go back to the old one. So I'm gonna go ahead and put World at War at okay. I believe at that time still they were playing on the PC, so, and there was no circuit. Like, people literally went from World at War and just went back to COD 4 and just didn't really think about it. The scene wasn't really that big. Devs did not really care about us, and esports in general just wasn't that big back then. Then we have Modern Warfare 2. I believe same thing. I do know when they did used to play search, and these days Modern Warfare 2, you could literally still had third person. You had third person enabled, so someone died in search, your teammate literally would just hit Y on you and just watch all your corners for you. So that was a little weird. I'm gonna put Modern Warfare 2 at decent. Like, it was a decent game competitively. Then we move on from MW2 to Black Ops 1. This one's kind of hard for me because I played the absolute mess out of Search and Destroy game battles in Black Ops 1. This was like where me and my boys first discovered it and we were just killing it. So I'm gonna put Black Ops 1 as a good game. They were playing the circuit on the PS3 at this time, left the PC, were on PS3, and then they ended up leaving PS3 because of that whole Lizard Squad. People couldn't get on for a whole summer, came to Xbox, and then eventually, you guys know the story, we ended up going back to the Sony Brotherhood. But that's just funny how they ended up leaving Sony because they literally couldn't play any LAN tournaments. Like, no one could get online and practice. Then we have Modern Warfare 3. This is what I'm talking about, where the game had potential. It had a lot of potential. No dev support whatsoever for the competitive scene. It's just gonna have to stick with decent. This game could have been really, really good competitively. Great maps, just great everything. Dom, CTF, search, but there just was no support. And what I mean by support is, I believe, like, at one moment, I think this was Modern Warfare 2 and MW3 both dealt with this problem. It's just the LAN settings. There weren't good LAN settings when they would try to host a LAN. It wasn't great, because I think in these two CODs, even though they were on the local LAN area, it was still technically online. So that's like a huge problem when we're trying to have like a competitive, you guys get what I'm saying. So that's just gonna stay with decent. Had a lot of potential. I remember, man, Moabs just grinding arcade and dome search. Like, this game was really good in my opinion. Modern Warfare 3 was really good. And then we are moving on to Black Ops 2, ladies and gentlemen, and I think it should be obvious where I'm putting Black Ops 2. Like, come on now, this clip alone, this clip right here alone shows why Black Ops 2 is just, you gotta give it to it. Like, look at this, man. This clip is insane, man. I remember having to go back, use the freaking Scorpion, because I'm like, bro, is this gun really that good? Just look at this. Insane, bro. Insane. This game was really, really good. The score streaks, man, like, just everything in this game was just so good. Scump really went crazy this event, man. That's crazy. And on top of that, a little fun fact side note, all these players, there's only one person that's still in the pro league, and that's Scump. Nade Shot owns a org. JCap got dropped this year. They say he'll be back next, but still. Big Timer retired. Ricky retired. Parasite, technically Parasite still plays, but he's an amateur. Nameless retired. Killer retired. Like, this is just insane to look at this list and just see how many people are still technically playing. If you're not even counting Parasite, because technically he's an amateur, the only person in the pro league is Scump. Like, it's just mind blowing to think about that. That is going to be the GOAT game, Black Ops 2. I mean, come on now. That game had it all, boys. That game had it all. So moving on from the GOAT game, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, we then see ourselves with COD Ghost. Now, this really is the problem with COD because, you know, when the game first comes out, some of us hate it. You know, we're just like, this game's so terrible, blah, blah, blah. And then when the next year game comes out, we're like, bro, we had it so good. We cannot believe that we just let this happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's like looking back at Ghost was not terrible. It had a good perk system. It had a good weapon. Like the game wasn't terrible. I really think what messed up Ghost was that one update where it changed the whole entire guns. Like that's the problem with COD. Like the developers don't know when we have a good meta going on, they change the meta and then we're running around with 4 vectors. Like that just made the game boring. Everyone has the same gun. Like there's no rolls, there's no AR, there's no, like, you see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give this one decent. That's definitely a decent game. Ghost was definitely a decent game. It had its problems. Like every game is going to have its problems, but as a competitive game, it was decent. It could have went a little bit more. For example, instead, if we're not playing Dom, in my opinion, and we're actually playing Hardpoint in Ghost, like come on now, we could play Hardpoint, Search, Blitz. People would have been happy. There would have been no problems. Boom, this game probably could have had like way more support. And that's when wagers first came out. Like come on, man, like these things could have been amazing. So after Ghost, we went to, you know, Air Warfare, which is pretty much Advanced Warfare. I don't know how I feel about this game because, again, like I said, when we first started playing it, the game sucks. But looking back on it, the game wasn't that bad. As far as jetpack Call of Duty, I'm still gonna say it. I think Advanced Warfare, best jetpack COD we have had to this date. Can't change my mind. At least Dead Silence, you got it a lot in that game, and with the whole advanced movement, you had blast suppressor on, you could still jump around like a maniac. Like you just didn't have to walk on the floor, you see what I'm saying? So I think Advanced Warfare, I'm gonna put decent. I think I'm gonna put decent. Like they're like, as far as like had potential, like the game was decent, competitively it was decent. I believe there a rank play mode in this game. Literally, look at the freaking title, Speak Easy Time. That's why we all hated rank play in Advanced Warfare. Like they gave us these weird weapons that did so many different stats, and it's like, all right, that's cool, you know, pub kids get to freak out and do their things, and then they allowed those weapons to be used in the rank play mode when you can't use these weapons in like it just made no sense. It made no sense. So yeah, I'm keeping Advanced Warfare decent, had potential. But what was that? Like, why could you use the Speak Easy, the what was it, the Bal Obsidian Seed in ranked play? Like that makes no sense. Like who do you have to talk to discuss these things? Did they even use their head, or they must have just not cared at all? You know what I mean? Next, after Advanced Warfare, we're looking at Black Ops 3. Like I said, man, like these movement Call of Duties got a little weird. Some of you guys are gonna hate me for doing this, but to be completely honest, Black Ops 3, I gotta give it that. Like when these things right here started happening, like look at this. When Teddy Rex and all the little S&D kids started doing that, what am I supposed to do against that, ladies and gentlemen? Like that just made that game so just not enjoyable for me, man. I couldn't deal with it. I think what killed it for me, why I still think Advanced Warfare is better than like Black Ops 3, is like AW, we were fine, you know, we were jumping like this, you know, in the air and stuff like that, but we had a dash. In Black Ops 3, man, we're wall running, we got specialists, like, and not the specialists that we're used to from Ghost or MW3. I'm talking like we just brought Halo and Destiny and all these things together. It felt weird, you know what I'm saying? It felt very weird. So I'm gonna just leave that how it is. After Black Ops 3, we have Infinite Warfare. As you can tell, Infinite Warfare was like that whole bundle with COD 4. It doesn't necessarily count since they were 2 separate games. And IW was the game to play that year because that was the game that had COD Champs on, right? So Infinite Warfare wasn't that bad. Like it was a terrible game in the beginning, but then later on, the game became better, but it was still a little weird because there were some problems with the game. Like just look at what we were playing back then. Like these little like specialists, how the game looks, like it just looks so weird. He just popped camo, no one knows where he's at. Like what was that, bro? What is that? Oh my god. Yo, shout out Optic. This isn't Optic Gaming no more, you know what I'm saying? Optic doesn't exist. Look at this, man. Like, and that was like Infinite Warfare for like a whole couple of months. Everyone just snaking. And as an old man, you know, like becoming like someone that's just like doesn't have a good reaction time as these little kids, I was just losing battles against this, man. Look at this snaking. Why is this even possible? You literally can't even hit him. So Infinite Warfare was chalked from the beginning. Like I said, the game, technically speaking, the game had potential, but I mean, just look at what we were playing, bro. Like the game looks so weird. It just looks so like I'm keeping it. What were we playing that year? What were we playing? Next up, World War II, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna say the exact same thing. I'm gonna just leave. Oh man, I don't know, because I did not like World War II. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I did not like this game. First off, they get rid of perks. No one asked them to do this. They just got rid of them. Brought in divisions, in my personal opinion, killed the game. Maps were terrible. It's like they forgot how to create maps. Okay, that game sucks. Like I'm just gonna leave it at that. Black Ops 4, again, this game was weird for me. Like that's what I'm saying. Like these things just they're so weird, because when the game comes out, this isn't what we wanted, like blah 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 blah, and then when the next year game comes out, it's like, dang, what we had last year wasn't as bad. Because if you compare Black Ops 4 to Modern Warfare, at least in Black Ops 4 we had dead silence. We just had to deal with stem, you had to deal with the specialists, you just had to deal with some stuff. In this game, you got no dead silence. In Modern Warfare, you're literally just camping your base. Like wagers, tournaments, like there is no S&D community, because you just camp your spawn for like a minute, wait for dead silence, and then everyone runs around like crackheads. So I don't know, man. I don't know. These two are weird for me. So I'm gonna just say, can't believe we played this. And just think of Modern Warfare as this one had potential. Like this also means it was okay, because if we're thinking about Modern Warfare as like a gun Call of Duty, as in like I mean like the gun mechanics and stuff like that, the game's not terrible. It's just for whatever reason they couldn't make a great competitive Call of Duty out of Modern Warfare. The rank play sucks, so right off the bat this is just weird. Even Ghost's little like clan v clan wasn't that bad. Like at least it had the right rules in place, no ranks, but at least it had something in place, you know what I'm saying? Like Modern Warfare, like what were they doing? Like I don't think you guys can necessarily see it unless you're paying attention and unless you actually played Modern Warfare since the beginning. When it first came out, the movement wasn't like this, you know what I'm saying? And then now all of a sudden everyone's slide canceling. I honestly think this is why Karma quit. Like you can't keep up with these crack heads. Like it is actually insane. Like just look at the slide canceling that's going on in this gameplay. Like there's no Black Ops 2, you're playing for cuts, you're on a head. Like it's just, there's too much going on with this slide canceling stuff. And pretty much the whole slide canceling, it just makes you move extremely faster. It's harder to hit you. There's so much going into it. I don't understand how these fools don't break their controllers. Like my controller is already so much wear and tear just from trying to get used to slide canceling. It's actually mind-blowing. And this man Shotzi's is like the godfather of freaking slide canceling. Like this dude is just nutty with it. So Modern Warfare, like we can have advanced movement. Like we had advanced movement in Advanced Warfare, we had good movement, and you know, Black Ops 4, blah 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 blah. But like I just can't deal with this type of movement. Modern Warfare's movement is so weird. This slide canceling thing should not be a thing, but it is. So that's just gonna be my list. Black Ops 2 as the GOAT, COD 4, Black Ops 1 just being good games, and then you just have all of these. You know, you got your Advanced Warfare, your Ghost, your Modern Warfare 3, Modern Warfare 2, some potential. And then just think of these two lists, these below, they're just trash. They're trash. You can't tell me differently. They are trash. And that's gonna be it, ladies and gentlemen, for my tier list. I know some of you guys are gonna roast what I have, but I feel like my top, categories are actually not that terrible. I just feel like some of you guys might say my Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4, I'm smoking crack. But realistically, those games, they had some big problems, man. So that's just what I'm gonna leave it at. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Leave the video a like and subscribe if you did enjoy it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace out.